Okay, today on the layout with no name, we're going to take a look at
power distribution.
Okay, we'll start with the classic Lionel ZW transformers capable of running 4 trains with 2 tall controls and 2 short controls on each side. This particular one is wired up to control, this one controls the elevated track that you see right here with the candy train, I call it, on it. Goes all the way around and loops back. And then this one here controls the surface train track, which is all 027, and it pretty much follows the same pattern all the way around, but flat on the table. Then I have this one is connected to the single trolley line right there, which you can see. I right now got the gang car sitting on it, and this goes down there to a bumper and then back down to here to a bumper, and that way I can control it from sitting right here. Then we have the Allstate brick here that's set at a preset voltage, which is about 12 volts, because that one is connected to run all of my I believe lighting, all the incandescent 12 volt light bulbs and whatever signals, buildings, whatever. I happen to have the 12 volt, old time 12 volt light bulbs in, because I gotta have a lot of pre-war, post-war, I'm sorry, buildings and such. Down here is the main power strip that's plugged into the wall, and everything's plugged into it that's on the railroad. So that with the flip of the switch, you can see the railroad lights up. It'll light up quite a bit more. I've got a lot of wiring and lighting to do yet. It also powers that track up there on the shelf that has the lighted cabooses and the work light car, searchlight car. And in addition, it has this white extension cord that goes under the layout. And of course they're fairly long extension cards. I think there's about 3 of them, about 12 foot long each, and they continue all the way down the entire layout. And that's so if I need something that's going to be switchable or powered on with the main power, but it's way over there, I can plug it in over there and not have to bring a cord back for each item. I've also have an extension cord plugged into the duplex wall jack that the power strip's plugged into, that does the same thing, and it goes all the way around. And it comes out in areas like where I've got a power strip there, and a power strip there, and it goes all the way over to the other side, so that if I need power that I don't want to cut off with the master switch, it's on all the time, for such as my heater, since it's only 14 degrees out, or a vacuum cleaner or battery charger or whatever. I've got power, because I can't get to my wall receptacles anymore because of all the layout. Now we come to another Lionel, old school Lionel brick, and this one also is preset to the speed I want it to be at. This eventually will get covered up and concealed as a building or something. So it's, and the purpose of it is it also powers this trolley line with the gang car on it. But it's controlled by a push button. So that way, if I have a child, visitor, or grandson who wants to come and play, I've got it set up to where they can push buttons and whistle, run the cop and robber car, log unloader down there, various things. But this way the speed is preset where I want it. They can't change it. All they can do is turn it on or turn it off, and I don't have to worry about them running into the floor trying to drag race it, or as my grandson calls it, putting it into nitro. Moving on down here, we have another blue brick, old school line now, and that one controls all the 12 volt accessories. It's also preset at about 12 volts, and you'll see it has an orange lead going off from it. Everything's color coded. There's an orange lead going to the crossing gate. There's an orange lead going to the whistle, Lionel Whistle building there. There's an orange lead going to the cop and robber car, and so on. And last but not least, down here we have another power strip. This one's primarily for USB connections. Right now I've just got a bunch of the plugs in there that I'll probably replace that one of these days with a more modern power strip that has the USB ports built in it. And they control such things as this cabinet, which has got a motion detector, so when you walk by the light comes on and the little Volkswagen begins to spin, as well as that little train up there that my son got me one time. That's also on a USB here, and as well as a couple of Arduino projects that I've done, such as the sounds of a jukebox over there and a flickering light here in my drive-in projection booth. So those all are USB items in there. Now the wiring, like I said, I couldn't get to the, I could have, but it would have been a lot of work to have run that wiring underneath the layout. I could have done it like here before I filled it up with boxes. But this rack right here I've had for quite a while. My original layout at the other house was, this was part of it. That was once a choir book rack at a church, and they remodeled and was going to throw that away, and my dad got it and asked me if I wanted it, and I said sure. So I started putting my collection of model railroad magazines in there, which starts in 1970 and went up to 2009. I ran out of room, so I quit subscribing. But anyway, getting in behind that is impossible. That doesn't go all the way back. The top of it does, but the basic cubbies there only go about halfway back. So yeah, I could lay down, crawl up under it on my back, get up in behind it, and have ran all the wiring. But I'm 74 years old, and I'm not going to do that. So first of all, I wouldn't be able to get back up. So I opted to run my wiring. It all comes down right here, goes in through there, comes out on this side, and then goes right around the fascia of the layout. And I put this extra shelf on there just to kind of disguise that, and also for switches and whatever. But all the way down, see, it goes around and follows the contour of the layout all the way around. and there it goes through, and there it is underneath the layout there and terminates right here at the end. Now my wiring is all color coded for ease of locating a problem if there was to be one. And I keep my little handy wiring guide here. Let's just find a good spot we can see. It's well lit. I don't know. All of them are kind of in the shadows. But you can see that bundle of wiring there. And the green wire controls the elevated main. That's the bus line for the elevated main, and then you got the little green feeders that go off of that to the track. The yellow wire controls the lower main. And same thing, although you don't see them, there's the yellow feeders that go to the 027 track on the flat surface. The white wire is incandescent lighting for all my 12-volt LEDs, which runs off that all-state transformer. The orange wire is for accessories and runs off this Lionel Blue. We've talked about that. The red wire controls turnouts. That's turnouts only. They got their own separate power feed, and they come also off of the ZW transformer, off of the accessory side. And actually it looks like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be red. You'll see the little red feeder go into the turnouts. And there's one there. Excuse me. The purple wire, there's a purple one in there somewhere, goes to the ATX computer power supply. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't believe I did. We'll go back to that in a minute. As well as the pink wire goes to the ATX power supply. The purple wire carries the 12-volt signal and can be used for anything out there that needs 12 volts. The pink wire carries the 5-volt and controls all my LED lights, which are usually 3 to 5 volts. And if they're 3, I can throw in a resistor and cut it down from the 5 to the 3. But the ATX power supply, and I love those things for that reason. They're simple to find and cheap, and you can't see it from here, but it's on a little shelf that goes inward behind that all aboard sign, and it sits up there. But the reason I love them is because they have both a 5-volt output as well as a 12-volt output, constant. And that's very handy on a model railroad. So that pretty much wraps up the wiring of this railroad. Got any criticisms or acknowledgments, just let me know in the comments. Until then, happy railroading.